I'm sorry, baby. I promise. I promise. If you take me back this one time, I'll never hit you again. I love you. Those are words that are repeated over and over in many cases of domestic violence. When we think of domestic violence, we think of physical violence. Well, domestic abuse consists of more than just domestic violence. It consists of physical violence, verbal abuse, mental abuse, and emotional abuse. Domestic violence is what people most often think of, and it's the most common form of abuse. And it is used for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to gain and maintain complete control over the victim. It's used for fear, guilt, and intimidation. That's just to wear you down. It can happen to anyone. It doesn't discriminate. Whereas women are more often victimized than men, men are victims also. These types of abuse should never be accepted. Never. And no matter who dishes it out, you deserve to feel safe, valued, and respected at all times. No one should have to go through these types of pains. If you're dealing with these types of pains and you seek to leave the relationship, the first step in leaving is you have to determine if your relationship is abusive. And in determining that, the vital signs checklist of the domestic violence says it is often difficult to determine if you are in a violent relationship. So they've composed a checklist of questions to ask yourself. The more yes answers, the more likely that you are in an abusive relationship. Some of the questions I suggest that you ask yourself are you afraid of your spouse? Has he hit you? Does he make you feel like you're the crazy one? Do you avoid certain topics so that you don't set him off? 9 out of 10 times, if you've answered yes to more than one of these questions, your relationship is abusive. You may not understand why people decide to stay in an abusive relationship. But it's hard to an abused person to just pick up and leave. I stayed because I felt guilty. I thought my love was enough to straighten him up, but it wasn't. And people stay in these types of relationships for different reasons, but mainly out of fear or because this person provides stability, something that they've never had. Once you've decided that your relationship is toxic and you need assistance getting out, there are several groups waiting to assist you, such as the Haven House, the National Network of Domestic Violence, the National Network to End Domestic Violence Hotline, the National Sexual Assault Online Hotline. And they are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When I was going through my ordeal, I didn't seek help. I didn't tell anybody, mainly because I was ashamed. I was afraid. I was afraid of being judged. A million times, I wish I had told somebody, because maybe it could have saved me from so much heartache and so much pain. In conclusion, I say, look for the signs and don't ignore them. When a person shows you who they are the first time, believe them. If your relationship is unhealthy, seek advice and guidance from someone that you love and trust, or from one of the sources that I have listed above. Just know that you don't have to fight this battle alone. The sources that I used for my speech were Neil S. Jacobson and John M. Gotham's When Men Batter Women, New Insight into Ending Abusive Relationships, I also refer to Connie 4, Finding Your Way Through Domestic Abuse, a guide to emotional, physical, and spiritual healing. And I also use the Domestic Violence Help book by the Everyday Help. And I also use Spot Domestic Violence, the vital signs of domestic violence checklist. And it was retrieved from www.marriage.com/advice/domestic violence. Thank you.